What's up, guys? Welcome back. Patreon request from Sean. This is Theresse, R.I.P. as far as I know. He sent me this. Mother of someone, a YouTuber he knows, maybe. So, R.I.P. Very sad. Let's try and draw her as a tribute. Landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause if we go too fast. Of course, it'll probably only be Sean. But still, it's nice to do stuff like this. I like doing this, like a public service. Even though it's not really a tutorial, kind of. But let's go. So head tilt. This is a picture he sent me of her when she was younger, smiling, very pretty, big eyelashes, very big eyelashes, right? So head tilted, so diagonal that way, right? And we're starting pretty much like bang center of my page anyway. And we'll do our best. Go. So realistic eyes. Not anime. So curving that way. And then down into here. She's a lot of eye makeup, right? So it'll be pretty dark around here. And then we go in to her tear duct, which is pretty pointy. That way. Yeah, so small eyes. Her blue iris. Just in here. And then pupil, so pupil in the middle, and they're kind of bigger, so we'll just try and keep it in the middle, and then keep it as even as we can. Okay, now eyelashes, so very long eyelashes, and there is lots of them, like with heavy makeup and mascara and all. So very dark, very big at the back, like in the corner here especially. And they even go down, so it's like a line of them, like down this way as well. Okay, right, so very eyelashy. Right in her eyelid line just behind. And she does have a little sort of bag underneath her eye here, very slight, but it is there. And then her eyebrows quite big as well, so kind of like this, but really shaped, right? So very straight here, and then they go back around that way. A little bit of spikes here, and then they go this way. Do do loo loo. There's some texture on her eyebrows. Okay, so with females, so like say like the bridge of her nose, not a lot. So we'll do this, like here. You may have, like, we'll probably, what do we do? Maybe like a little bit of the bridge of her nose there. Okay, and her other eye, so like her other eye is like in behind this. Okay, we're in 3/4 pose. So I'm just putting that there just to know how far over I'm going for the eye, and I'll finish the nose down there then. So another sort of realistic eye shape, curving over down the back. So this one will kind of be a bit shorter than the other one, or like at least it looks a bit rounder because we're in 3/4 pose. you can see more of her tear duct. And again, a blue iris. Just in there. Excuse me. Cough. And then her pupil somewhere in the middle. So I like to put a dot in the middle and then just gradually make it bigger until it's kind of even with the other side. You know, just check every now and then. And then big eyelashes, lots of them. Right, and then she got that sort of eyelid line, and then on top as well. And then her eyebrow, again, kind of hairy here at the front. But then heavily sort of plucked and, you know, makeup and stuff here. Coming over, shorter than the other side, remember, because of the head position. And we'll just put some textures. Do 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 do. Okay, so the nose then itself, right? So with female drawings, right, I find like not drawing it, like drawing a little bit of the bridge makes them look more feminine. So I will just do this, and then we'll go down and do the tip of her nose, and if I need more, we will do more. So say like we've got like the tip of her nose just coming down here. Okay, and we have like the skin of her nostril just coming around. You don't have to draw much. And like the skin of her nostril on the other side. Might be a bit of a shadow in there. And you know, if you want like a bit of hatching just on the side of her nose, you know, maybe to show just the tip of her nose there a little bit, but you know, less is more with noses. That's what I have learned over the years, especially with a line drawing. If you're shading, that's a different story. Because a round object like the bridge of a nose is mostly just done with shade anyway. So just FYI. Right, her cheeks, big smile, right? So her cheeks kind of stick out a little bit, so they bump out here, come around her mouth. Very big smile, happy. And then, what way do we go? So we'll go with the mouth. So mouth is open, teeth exposed. So top lip line, right? So we'll go this way, right? So starting here, so big smile, right? And your mouth is normally in line with your iris, right? Especially when you're smiling, it's like right underneath the middle. Depends on the person, but usually they're here. Sorry, you might be able to hear a cat. And then you just join these together, right? And her lips are pulled, stretched, so they're not too bumpy, like it's just that kind of a thing. So it's like a closed mouth line. But we will open it, and she's like heavily lipsticked lips, right? So her lips go there, dip in the middle, back up, and then back down this way. So that's the top lip. Kind of looks like the handle of a bow and arrow. That's what I always think of, right? And sometimes there's this top lip line there. So we open up her mouth, right? Now there's the lipstick area, and then there's her gum area. So we'll do the inside first. Right, so coming down this way and around. Kind of joins the inside of the mouth there, and then the skin of the red lipstick comes down the other side. Okay. So looks weird because no teeth, so we will add teeth. Now the main thing to remember is you want like the gum line and the teeth to divide in the middle of the mouth. So right, you want like that. So that's going to be your center. Now it's because we're in 3/4 that it kind of curves out and in this way. It's not like right underneath here, like it wouldn't be here. You want it there because of the curve of the head. So you don't want it to be here, like right underneath the middle of her nose, slightly over. Okay, it's because your head is doing this kind of a thing. It's like a football or something. So then there's some gum lines under there, and you'll just go across. A good study for mouth and teeth is comic book drawings of the Joker, surprisingly enough. Just if you're, I practiced those a little bit and it made me way better at teeth, like illustrative drawings of teeth. Just so you know, if you're looking for like some practice. Wait, 1, 2, 3. There's like another one there. So there's like teeth then, and each tooth is drawn in as well, right? So it's kind of like the bottoms of them at least are drawn in, right? So each bump will correspond sort of with this V, you know. So you're underneath there. You don't necessarily have to draw in each line for each tooth. So we'll go for the molars, and we can seem to see like her tongue along the top of the teeth, I think. So it's kind of like bumpy this way, and you can't see the gum line. There's a fly now in my room, right? So that's like her tongue, right? So I'll just shadow this. Just make it a bit more dark in there, in the corner of her mouth. And will I draw some teeth lines? Thinking about it. Maybe just a little, like this. Shoe fly. Sorry, it's roasting in my studio and I have the door open, so flies are coming in. Okay, so her chin, just a little line for her chin there, and then the actual round chin part here. And then there is some like skin being pulled just for her cheeks and, you know, her smile. And then jawline goes this way. And we can see its cheek on this side, right? So we've got sort of that, her cheekbone kind of sticking out here. So say we'll go like here, and then she has real big cheeks, like very happy, plump sort of cheeks, right? Stick out a bit. And then her face shape comes down here. You can't see her jaw, of course, because her face is turned away. So it just goes smooth down there. I think some of her eyelashes should be a little bit bigger here. Just looking at them now again. Yeah, and then her jaw here, right up to her ear, and bumps out a little bit for her cheekbone. And then we have a sideburn. So her hair is kind of a short, sort of high bob sort of thing, right? So we've got like a bit of a sideburn here. It's long yet short, you know what I mean? It's one of those short on the sides and long on top. Very long on top. Okay, so like we'll do maybe a bit more hair here. Just hair spikes just on top of her ear, because it is kind of covered. And then her ear comes down this way. Can't see her ear on the other side. So it's like her earlobe. And then ear lines inside. Easiest way is always letter J to start, and then you can just do a bit more if you want it to be a bit more realistic, which we do in this case. We want it to be like a little bit more. Right, and then earrings. Looks like 2 there. Right, and then her hair. So like really kind of big, right? So like these sort of swooping kind of hair spikes, right? Right, so she has lots of hair sort of like sort of hanging down onto her forehead. Right, and then just coming across the fringe first, we'll do that. Then I guess we should see some forehead here. And then hair sort of sticking out the side. And then it starts to swoop up. Kind of, you know, one of those sort of hairspray, big 80s style. Or 90s even. Right, and like the top of it kind of like swirls out here. So it's like a fringe and then like different sort of parts in her hair here. Right, and then that way, bumping around. So it's all kind of dark over here, so I might have to make that side up a little bit, but I think it's all just, you know. This kind of thing. Maybe a bit bumpy here. Right, it's unclear here, but I guess it would, if she had brushed it, it would go sort of this way. And it would come over her ear and maybe flick back maybe a bit, like that. You know, and then it would probably get shorter as it goes into her. Yeah, kind of like that kind of thing, I think. So there's no hair visible there, but if normally those bobs, maybe like hair cut in a bob sort of style, would go down towards her neck. So where do we see her neck? So her neck is like here. Ooh, maybe it finishes there. maybe looks a bit more. I know this looks like the kind of style I'm thinking of. So it's not kind of clear what's happening there. But if that's as long, like those are her sideburns, I imagine it tapers into her neck. Hope I'm right about that. I don't know. But I'm not sure if she has any beauty marks or anything that I should be drawing. But there's a lot of debris sort of on the photo. It's like a photo of a photo, you know, it's one of those. Okay, that way. And then her neck on the other side, so we get like neck muscles like that. And then her collarbone goes this way and this way. And she has a little silver chain, so yeah, we'll probably have to do a double line for this. So it's like floral sort of pattern every now and then, so comes over her collarbone. Looks like a little flower anyway, I could be incredibly mistaken. Is there another one here? Not sure really. And then shoulder there. So she's got like a blue sort of strap top on, and her collar, your collarbone always goes to your shoulder joint, right? So it's like there, and it attaches then to your trapezius muscle, and then your deltoids go down this way, okay? So similar collarbone in here, and then this one's kind of pressed up a bit, so it goes down that way. Okay, so did I miss anything? No, I think that's it. So Theresse, hope it was helpful. Sean, RIP. Very sorry for the loss. If you knew her personally or not, I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support on Patreon. See you in the next one. Bye.